everyone, I just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas to start off this video. I hope you're doing well and hope you get some awesome gifts this year. And we are going to look at a very cool deck that I saw earlier this week where it was on DB Grinder's channel. I have it right over here, and I really like the look of this. This was the Runic World Chalice deck, post-banless of course, with Ib. And I really was interested after I saw the video of it, so please go on his channel and look at it if you are interested in this. You know, my build's going to be different than what was shown here because spoiler alert, I am not playing the adventure package. But this was a really cool deck, and I just wanted to go over it because it was really neat and different. And playing a link deck with Runic cards is something very rare that you can do, but it's an option that you can do. So without further ado, let's jump into the deck profile, and if you enjoy, please subscribe. Thank you. Okay guys, so here is my current list that I have for this World Chalice Runic deck. This is very unique and a very cool deck. Something I never thought I'd see, but yeah, this actually works pretty well. I was very surprised after watching it play that it works better and synergizes more than I was expecting. Obviously, it's not perfect. I do not think it is the best Runic variant in my opinion, but I do think it is something cool and fun and different and fairly inexpensive, to be honest. I think you can cut of course, the SP Little Knight for something like Unicorn. But yeah, overall, other than that, this deck is pretty cheap as far as I know. So I'm very looking forward to showing this deck. It has some really cool combos, and I'm going to show one at the end of the video, the main core combo. But yeah, overall, it's very neat and very cool. So let's just go over it. So we have World Legacy, World Chalice. A couple of the newer players might not know what the World Chalice archetype does, but this was one of our first major linked decks that we've got in the TCG. And it was very spam heavy deck that did a lot of things, and it got a lot of support actually too. So the main part about this card is when it's tribute summoned and then sent to graveyard, it special summons 2 World Chalices from the deck. Very straightforward. There is other effects, like it's an interruption as well, but that's not relevant for the main combo part. Then we have a level 3 normal monster chosen by the World Chalice. Only thing that's important is a psychic monster and it's a normal monster, and has World Chalice in the name. Only important things. 3 emergency teleport. It's a psychic, so we can eTele this out. These are what you would consider to be your like starting cards for the deck, right? Like this would be your Gwem. This would be your Gearsu. This would be stuff like that. The things you want to pair with the Hugin that will make the deck run. So these are your 9 cards for that. Next up is like the engine requirement cards. This is where we have 1 copy of World Legacy Guard Dragon. I really don't think you need more than 1 of this. As of now, at least, the combo does not recycle anything. So you really are just like a glass cannon going through it. But when you do go through it, it's pretty rewarding and it sets you up for the late game pretty well. But again, the recurability, it really is not a lot in this deck, so something you should really keep in mind while playing this. So yeah, 1 copy of Guard Dragon. This brings back the normal monster to a link arrow that it points to by banishing itself from the graveyard. So just like a little extender that you can summon that gives you an extra body. This helps going into IP later in the combo if you have an extra extender. 2 copy of Lee on summon search a World Chalice. If it's in the grave, send a monster from your hand or grave to add it back to the hand. Very good. Of course, any on summon search is always very strong. But surprisingly, this is not a combo with Hugin. You would think it was, but nope, not this one. And then the 2 World Legacy cards that we play in this deck, which is Succession and Sorrow. There are other ones that you can consider, but nothing that I think is worth it as of now, or at least without further testing. So again, as I always say in every video, if you have suggestions, if you've tried this, if there's other stuff you want to test, please leave it in the comments. I want everybody who watches the video to be able to look in the comments, see other suggestions and other things you can try, things that have worked, things that have failed. I think these things save a lot of time and help the progression of a format evolve much faster. So please do that. I would really appreciate it. Next up is 3 Bell and 3 Ash. These cards are, I think, just solid right now because in my personal opinion, I think that Labyrinth is most likely going to be the best deck with the way it's positioned, just because it wasn't hit on the ban list, and it can play on both players' turns, which I think is a telltale of very strong decks. And I think Ash and Bell at the same time can also make Ib. It is not like a broken full combo. It just is kind of like a weird like starting point, but if you have extra bodies, it helps a lot, and you might be able to manipulate it into a combo. So it's very nice that it can kind of get you out of like a brick situation, but again, they are mostly hand traps. That's why I have them down here, not as like extension combo pieces, because the Chosen by the World Chalice being in the graveyard matters a lot. That super matters because you need to bring it back off of Succession to be able to link it off into Imduk specifically. So that's why these are not the same as this. So just keep that in mind. Next up, 20 Runics. I'm not going to explain them. 3 destruction, 3 destruction, 3 dispelling, 3 flashing, 2 fountain, 3 freezing, 3 slumber, 3 tip. I think it's the best ratio. You see the most. You see them in the late game. They're the best ones. I don't like hammer. That's it. I'm not going to get into a deep dive about it. For the fusions, 1 Jerry, 2 Hugin, 1 Slefnir. I also think this is the best ratio for like not heavy runic decks or just like more like mash decks, I would say, like things where they're like experimental runic builds. I think this is like a very good starting point, and then you can adjust depending on how the game states go. I think that's the best way I could describe it. 1 copy of Ib. The whole reason the deck works. You can synchro it using a World Chalice normal monster, so the Chosen can be a tuner. So you can use this and Hugin to go into it because she's generic. On synchro summon, search a World Legacy. If she's sent from field to graveyard, you special a World Chalice monster from your deck. So 2 deck interactions, 1 card, and it makes itself very easy to summon. Very strong, very good. Really like it. 1 copy of Lib. This card has not been played in a very long time. So again, generic 2 monsters. It can only be linked summoned if there's a World Legacy card in the graveyard. During the main phase, set a World Legacy spell or trap directly from the deck. It can't be activated unless you have a World Legacy monster in your graveyards, which would normally be the World Legacy World Chalice. And then also, if it's sent to graveyard, after being link summoned, shuffle a card on the field back into the deck. Super important for Runic because you don't have a battle phase. So any extra removal is very important. Lib, extremely strong. This card is just like, it has been so unfortunate this card cannot see play because this is like one of those other Link 2s that is extremely strong. It just needs the right deck for it. And this seems like a very solid option for it. 1 copy of Urim. This is not a part of the main combo. This is just a piece you can use later for like follow-up plays because this is a generic monster reborn. You said the Tribute to World Chalice. So you can reborn anything though. Very important. Reborn any monsters. You can bring back Heat Soul. You can bring back SP Little Knight or anything like that. So very, very strong card. Decode Talker. I have been raving about this to my brother and Nick about how I want a Runic deck that can make Decode Talker, but not have it be in the extra monster zone. I want it in the main monster zone. And this deck can actually do it. Makes a big difference in gameplay. Because when it's in the main monster zone and the extra monster zone is like open, you're able to actually summon your fusion monsters to interact with your opponent, get like force your draws through with the fountain. So you're just drawing like a cajillion cards. Like it's the best way to describe it. Drawing a million cards. Galaxy Control is part of the combo to link away the Ib. IP Masquerena. This can be a part of the M board if you have enough extenders. Imduk to be able to a part of the combo extra normal summon. Ningirsu, this is not a part of the combo. This is just removal. This can also be Access Code Talker. This is more of a budget-friendly options, but if you want to play Access Code Talker, feel free. You have a million attributes in here that you can banish, so I think Access Code might be better. Just something to keep in mind. Pit Knight, this is part of the end board where it's Pit Knight and Heat Soul. This is like a negate with Heat Soul, so it's kind of cool. You have an on-spot negate. SP Little Knight, it's SP Little Knight. And Amirage, part of the combo, you can link away the World Chalice because it has 1,000 or less attacks, so it triggers it immediately. So that's the deck. I want to show you guys the main combo of how it works. And yeah, I think the only other thing that you could change in this deck where it might be viable is putting Upstart Goblin in. Maybe you can take something out like the Bells just to make it a little more consistent. Maybe you want to see more of these, make it 37 cards. I think that's a reasonable decision that if you wanted to make it, you can. So yeah, just an option just to give yourself, because Upstart is going to be at 3. So in a deck like this, it can really work if you're not, as long as Joel Lockbird is not in the main decks. I think that can be very beneficial for a deck like this. So enough of that, enough of the deck. Let's get into the main combo of the deck. Okay, guys, so I want the hand to be a little bit like generic. I don't want it to be too good, too many extenders, because you can draw other stuff too to make the hands like more insane. But the M board only gets a little bit better. So this is about the hand that you want to kind of like are shooting for. It's really just a way to get to Chosen, or the World Legacy World Chalice, plus like a Runic or two. The combo only needs 1 Runic, but The second one lets you fountain draw. So you can also draw the second one off of Heat Soul, which comes up, of course. So that extra draw is very nice. So again, in the draw phase, as we always do, we're going to Runic Destruction to summon our Hugin, discard our Ash Blossom to search our fountain. Now we are able to summon the Chosen and then Synchro Summon into Ib. And then we can declare Ib's effect to search the World Legacy Succession. And then we can link off the Ib into the Gravity Controller. And then we can activate Ib in Graveyard, because she was sent to Graveyard, to Special Summon. So now we are able to summon Lee. Now we can activate Lee. I think we're going to put Lee over here. And we're going to activate Lee to search our World Legacy World Chalice. Now we can activate Succession to Special Summon back our, our Chosen. And then we can use the Chosen to go into our Imduct. And this is what I was talking about before, where you need specifically the Chosen so that you can go into the Imduct to get the extra normal summon. That's why something like Ash doesn't work. This is where it's an issue. So now you are able to extra normal summon with Imduct's effect, tribute over the Gravity Controller to clear it, so we have that spot open. And now we can link off the World Legacy World Chalice into Almirage. From here, you are able to use the World Legacy World Chalice to special summon 2 from deck. So I'm going to be summoning Chosen and Guard Dragon. Again, you can choose multitude of different things. There's not like wrong answers. We are able to link off the Chosen, and we'll do the Guard Dragon into, we can go Pit Knight, or we can go Lib. This is where your end board kind of has to start being crafted depending on what you have. For this example, I'm going to do Pit Knight. And then after this, we can do it in a way where I think we have enough bodies here where with the extra Runic spell, we're actually able to end on the IP as well and get the fountain draws. So we should be able to link off the Almirage and the Lee to go into the Lib. Oh, not the Almirage. What am I doing? Link off the Lee and the Imduct to go into Lib, and then activate Lib to set the World Legacy Trap card. And because Lib is a white Cyberse and this is a fire Cyberse, we were able to link these two off into Heat Soul. So this is where the board would normally end. If you want to do the extra body thing I was talking about, it gets a little more complicated because you have the Runic Fountain here, and you can use the Runic Flashing Fire to special to get the draws, but at the same time, and you have the Heat Soul draw, but at the same time, you don't have a arrow for the World Legacy Guard Dragon to summon back the Chosen. So this was the only thing that I haven't like precisely figured out yet, where you can get the World Legacy Guard Dragon value to be able to link off the Hugin and the Guard Dragon to go into the IP. I mean, realistically, there's probably a line in there somewhere where you just put Heat Soul somewhere different, or you can summon the Hugin earlier, but you have the Almirage up there pretty early. It may be... you might be able to make a link 2 up top before you make the Almirage. Maybe that would work. So that would probably work out. Mess around with it, figure it out. But overall, that's the main combo. You don't have to obviously do the second part. Just like the main thing is that you get to this point, which is negate, 2 draws, the trap, Runic setup, really strong. Like very, very good. This is very, very strong. Better than I think a lot of people give it credit for a Runic deck, because getting the extra draws and then like plus interruptions is always crazy in this deck. And if the Heat Soul is not dealt with, it becomes such a problem in a deck like this and can just take over a game. So overall, again, this is the deck. Try it out. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I really love your feedback, and I try answering as much as I can. And yeah, again, shout out to this person for making this deck. Obviously, it's really, really cool. It caught my eye, so I wanted to shed some light on it. And any other suggestions, please leave them below. And lastly, Merry Christmas again. And if you enjoyed, please subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.